Hi, I'm Amy.
I'm Brittany.
And this is Homemade Homicide. We like to cook and talk about murder. Right?
Yep.
Today's show is going to be really good. We're going to talk about Robert Maudsley. He's the most dangerous murderer in the United Kingdom right now.
I'm really interested in this guy because of like the shit that I read.
I don't
last
feel
night.
that he is. Like, I feel that there's other people that are more dangerous than him.
Yeah.
But we can all make up our own minds.
He doesn't seem that dangerous, but I do kind of like him.
Yeah. It's hard to sort
I know we're
not
not supposed to, but I like
Yeah.
him.
No one likes murder, but anyway.
I kind of like his murders.
Yeah. Today we're also going to make shepherd's pie. So I want to get started on that right now, and then we'll get started on the story. I'm going to start with shepherd's pie. You use mashed potatoes, and I like to make garlic mashed potatoes. So I'm going to show you how to do garlic mashed potatoes.
Nice.
So I'm going to start by taking a bulb of garlic, and you're going to cut the whole top off, okay? So we're going to cut that off. I probably should have a garbage bowl ready. And that exposes the top.
Garbage bowl.
Garbage bowl. I know, whatever. If you want to get me one back there.
Sure.
You want to expose the tops of the cloves, okay? So, kind of like that. So all your cloves are exposed. Need a piece of aluminum foil, or aluminium, as they say in the UK. Ha!
All right.
Right? Now you're gonna.
Are we doing that today?
Yeah,
Are
maybe.
we doing that? All right.
You're gonna liberally cover your cloves of garlic with some olive oil.
I'll take care of the garlic in the garbage bowl. Don't worry about
Yes. A little salt.
that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And a little pepper.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, you're just gonna cover this up, and you're gonna put it in a 400-degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. You can test it by, like you would potatoes. So you can test it, stick a fork or a knife, and see if your bulbs are nice and soft. And it'll be the creamiest, and the flavor really mellows out on it too. So it's not like garlic, it's just like mellow, like you just want to eat it all day long.
Just spread it
It's
on
so
bread.
Good. Yeah, spread it on bread.
Like butter.
Spread it on anything. It's
Yeah.
great.
All right. So.
Okay,
Talk
so
about Modsley. Who's this for?
okay, so Robert Maudsley was born in 1953 in Liverpool, England, and it's kind of sad. So it starts out, there's like 5 kids, and the abuse was so bad in the family that by the time Robert was 6 months old, Child Protective Services had been to the house a bunch of times, and finally they came in, they took all the kids and they put them in an orphanage. So he's in this orphanage till he's like almost 7 years old. He didn't even know they had parents. Like,
Well, yeah, he was taken away when he was 6
yeah,
months.
but I mean, and I think there were several of the kids that they didn't realize they had parents. Well, the one kid was going to get adopted.
Wait, how many of them is there?
There was 5.
Oh.
5 of them. So, the one kid was going to get adopted by someone, and so what happened is they had to let the biological parents know, hey, this kid, we found someone to adopt one of your kids. Well, then they were like, oh no, you're not going to adopt any of our kids, and by the way, we want them all back. So they
Why?
had,
So you can beat him again?
yeah, so they gave him back.
Ah, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
No.
So, and now these kids are with these 2 people that they have no idea who the hell they are. Robert didn't even know he had parents. He figured they were dead because, And so now they're back living with the parents. Well, they had a bunch of, now there's 12 kids. They had a bunch of kids while all those kids were in the orphanage.
How the fuck
So-
do you afford 12 children?
I know. So now there's 12 kids. Okay, I'm gonna chop up an onion and garlic to get this started. And shepherd's pie, typically you use lamb. And since I wouldn't touch lamb with a 10-foot pole, I'm using turkey.
It's okay. I make lamb. I make lamb.
Are you a vegetarian? I make lamb.
What do you mean you don't eat no meat?
So anyway,
Great movie.
Yeah, right. So it turns out that out of all the 12 kids, the dad hates Robert. Like, he just can't figure out, why does this guy hate me so much? He, at one point, like, he beat him every day over nothing. He would just beat him. And then,
What?
This guy just...
What is in
he didn't
people
like,
that makes them do
don't
that?
know.
I don't
And
get
to beat
that.
a child.
Why?
I mean,
Yeah. They're a fucking kid, man. Don't
I
be a
can see
dick.
sometimes you're going to get pissed off at your kid, but, you don't beat him.
Yeah, you don't beat them for
No, you don't beat him. So he, at one point when he was almost, I think he was like almost 8 years old, the dad locks him in a closet, and the only time he opens the door is to beat the crap out of him. And like, his brothers and sisters would sneak him food, and he was in this closet for like 6 months.
Was he?
Oh yeah, it was bad. So by the time
we can't just fucking brush past that. 6 months?
6 months. Yeah.
6 months.
6 months.
Was he trying to kill him?
I mean, it sounds like it. Right? I mean, this guy was...
Fuck that guy.
He hated his kid.
That guy.
I mean, talk about,
Jesus.
who's your favorite?
Yeah.
Apparently not him.
The one that's not in the closet.
A pan.
Sure.
So... He, when he was I think when he was 12 years old, again, everything was so bad as far as abuse and stuff that Child Protective Services came and they took all the kids out of the family.
Well, they shouldn't have given him back in the first place.
Well,
Were they
I
not
agree. Yeah.
checking up on, what's
Well,
going on over there?
They're not much better here, so. And
I'm not saying they
this
are.
was in probably like the 60s. So, I don't know.
Oh, that onion.
I know, the onions are always strong.
Yeah. Is there something I can be doing here?
Yeah, you wanna peel this garlic?
Sure.
Smash it and peel it.
Smash it and peel it. Where's the garlic plate I got you? Where is
it?
it?
Drawer right here.
Yeah?
Now he's bouncing around foster home to foster home. He's 12 years old, and I mean, at least he's away from his parents, but he hates his parents.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Can you blame him?
And he has a lot of, issues with that. So finally, when he's 16 years old, he decides, you know what, I'm going to go to London because it's a big city. If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere,
No.
That kind of thing. So he gets to London, and of course, it's just...
That's never good.
It's just terrible. So he winds up, and I think this was in like 1973 or something by this time.
Mm-hmm.
And, or maybe even sooner than that, because he was born in 53, and so I think it was a little bit sooner than that, because he was 16. But anyway, someone else can do the math.
Albert.
I know, Albert. So, he winds up...
God, we're fucking smart.
I know. He winds up selling drugs, and he becomes...
So he made it.
Yeah, so he made it. So he's selling drugs, and he also becomes what they call a rent boy over there, which is male prostitute. So he's,
God, man.
I know. So he's doing that. He's got friends, but of course, I mean, your drug friends are not really your friends. And so him and this one guy, they're like hanging out.
Look at that. How do you not love this plate? This is fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
And then it melts in the pan because it's like a paste.
Okay.
You're an asshole. This is a great gift.
Whatever,
I love
dude.
this.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
So he and this guy, they start selling a bunch of drugs to people, commit small crimes, whatever. And again, he's, male prostituting. So this guy who he thinks is his friend one night they're out partying, and this guy just goes off on him and beats the living shit out of him. So now he's like, this is it. I don't trust anybody anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I'm done.
Yeah.
And so he's off on his own. He's, you know, he doesn't make friends. He doesn't want friends. He's just angry. You know, he's, you know, an angry guy. So I'm going to put this in the thing. So this is 3 large cloves of garlic.
They
So,
smell fantastic.
what's that?
And they smell fantastic.
They do smell absolutely fantastic.
God, I love garlic.
So while he's prostituting, he meets this guy, John Farrell. And John Farrell's like a construction worker. He's got a good business.
Are you going to use this again?
No. Makes a lot of money. And so he befriends Robert, and he calls him back all the time to have sex with him. Hand me the turkey, if you would. I will put the turkey. Okay, so this is 1.5 pounds of ground turkey, and I'm just gonna put it in the pan here with the onion. Let me get a spoon and let this stuff cook up. So he starts seeing this guy like on a regular basis, but now he's like, he's doing drugs, and you know, he's high all the time. And
so he keeps calling him back. Is he like, are they starting to develop a relationship?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
is it just...
Well, it's... So that's the
It's
part,
just
that's
sex.
the part I'm getting to.
Okay, sorry.
So, I know, you're always like...
I'm not trying to jump ahead, but
Yeah, you are.
whatever.
So, he keeps calling him back or whatever. Well, finally, this John Farrell says, hey, what I'd like to do is I want to pay you to like be kind of a companion, but only when he wants it. So it might be sexual, or it might just be we're going to hang out for the day, or we're going to do whatever, but it's not, he doesn't want him there all the time. And so Modsley's like
on call, I guess.
yeah, kind of, and you know, he'll pay him or whatever, and he's like, you know, he doesn't have anything better to do. The guy will pay him money, and so he's going to do that. So they're hanging out or whatever.
It's an agreement? Okay.
Yeah, this goes on for like a year or so, and they're getting along. Everything's going really well. One night, Robert goes over to his house. He calls him, hey, I want you to, you know, come over. And so Robert's really high this night. And so Farrell starts showing him pictures. He's like, hey, I want to show you these pictures. You know, and so Robert's like, oh, okay, whatever. So he starts showing him these pictures. Well, it turns out they're pictures of Farrell molesting a little boy. But at first, he doesn't realize what he's looking at. And so he's just like, you know, because he's all drunk or high or whatever it is. And so Farrell keeps like insisting, look at these pictures. And so when he finally realizes what he's looking at, he's like, you know, what the hell? Well,
Oh my God.
then Farrell says, hey, maybe you and I could do this. You know? And so Modsley's like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, proper response.
Yeah.
Good response.
So he starts thinking about his parents.
Yeah.
And, you know, his abuse, because he had sexual abuse, you know, beatings, all that. And so he starts thinking about that. Well, he goes into a rage. And he totally just, like, kills this guy.
Get him.
Yeah, he I can't think of the word they used. He gutted him with a knife. Just beats the crap out of him.
Yeah.
So he gets
Good.
done. Yeah, he
Sorry.
gets done, and this Farrell guy, he's dead. And so now he's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
you know? So then he starts thinking, you know, I'm going to have to go to the police, because he realizes I just went into a crazy rage, and this is probably going to happen again. Yeah, so he's thinking, I need to go to the police. tell them what I did, and they'll get me some help. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
that's insanely responsible.
Yeah.
Consider like anyone else we've ever talked about.
Exactly. So
but he's.
Yeah.
I mean, do I say that he's a good guy? He's kind of a good guy.
Well, I wouldn't say he's
not
a
good guy,
he's a good guy, but so
he's only killing bad guys.
Well, so he goes to the police, and of course they arrest him right away. And he goes to court. Okay, I'm salt and peppering my...
Oh, is that why we're making shepherd's pie? Because he's English.
Of course, darling.
Oh my god, that took me a while. Sorry about that.
Yep.
I'm going to say that it's, that I still have baby brain.
I raised a slow one.
Yeah.
Baby brain has nothing to do with it.
It does. It does. When you don't fucking sleep anymore, then
that
happens. You forget things.
So he goes to court and he's convicted, but he's thinking, well, they'll get me some help. Well,
right.
They wind up.
So he's okay with sentencing, all that. He's like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's thinking they're gonna see that,
I'm sick.
And he tells them, look, I'm, this is gonna, it's gonna happen again, like, because of everything that happened, in his childhood. So they wind up, they put him in Broadmoor prison, which was like a
Broadmoor prison?
Yeah, it's like a psychiatric hospital, but for violent criminals or
Gotcha.
whatever.
Okay.
So they put him in there. Well, this place doesn't help anybody. Like, this place is known for they just lock them up. They're psychotic or whatever in there, criminal
At that point,
insane.
what's the fucking point?
Well,
if they don't help them, then
yeah. So he's in there. They're not helping him. He's not super happy about it. And while he's in the prison, he makes friends with this guy, David Cheeseman. I think it's Cheeseman. It's Cheese, which is cheese. Mm-hmm. Man. It could be Chessman, but I think it's Cheese. I think Cheeseman is more fun to say. Anyway, so whatever.
We apologize if you are part of this family.
Whatever. So
we're going with cheese.
So he meets this guy, David Cheeseman.
Okay.
And they become friends or whatever. Well, in 1977, there's a guy in there, and his name is also David Francis, and he is a pedophile. So Mosley and Cheeseman decide, okay, we're gonna kill this guy, and
just out of the blue, like, let's go get him.
Yeah, well, because he's like a pedophile, and
did you just throw that back on the pan?
Yeah, I just dropped it on the stove, dude. I'm sure it's fine. So.
And cut.
Induction.
Okay, anyway.
This is not cooking very fast.
It's okay. Do you want me to start on the potatoes?
Not yet. No.
Okay. Alright, go ahead.
So, like I said, this guy, he's a child molester, pedophile, whatever, and so.
Real quick, was this guy like a real pedophile, or was he just like a?
No, he was a.
He was a pedophile.
Okay, yeah, he did. So, and this is kind of what I don't understand. Like, so they get this guy in the room and they start torturing him, and they're doing all kinds of stuff to this guy. Like, I mean, crazy torturing this guy. And the staff is outside in the hallway. And first of all, there's a window in the door. So they can see in and see what's going on. But you would think someone would have a master key or something.
Yeah.
That they could get in. Well, this goes on for 10 hours. So,
sorry.
I mean, I have to kind of wonder, did they let this happen?
They had to be letting it happen.
I mean, did they really not have a way to get into this closet?
If at one point someone's being tortured, isn't there axes in the hallway?
Well, I would think so. There's got to be something. I mean, it's 1977. It's
somebody can break a door down. It's not hard.
Yeah. So anyway, they get him in there, and they're I can't even tell you all the stuff. They had like shanks and they're stabbing him, and they were like choking him, and they'd let him come back, and they were just doing all this stuff, right? So finally, after like 10 hours of this, they they kill him, and I don't know if they just walked out or if they finally break this door down.
Just walking out.
I'm
like,
not sure what
thanks
happens.
for looking the other way, guys.
Yeah. So, they know. So when they get in there, they see the guy, and it looks like his head, like the whole top of his head is almost missing, and it looks like a spoon sticking out of his head.
Nasty.
So now there's a rumor that starts that, oh, he ate this guy's brains. Like,
So he's a cannibal now.
so he's a cannibal. So they start calling him Hannibal the Cannibal.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is long before Hannibal the Cannibal.
Is that where this comes from?
That's what I think, and that's what a lot of people think. So they
kinda
start calling
awesome.
him Hannibal the Cannibal, but they also start.
I wonder if Anthony Hopkins knows about this.
Well, they also start calling him Spoons.
Ooh.
That's a pretty cool name. So, and it turns out that the spoon was actually in his ear. It wasn't in his brain, and they figured out he didn't eat.
Oh.
He didn't eat anybody's brains or anything, but one of the nurses was like, "Oh my God, look at you!"
Yeah.
And so that was the rumor, and so that's why they called him that. And they also called him Blue because all of his victims would turn blue when they die. I don't know how that came about, but
That's
yeah.
so does everybody.
So those were the three nicknames.
Am
so,
I wrong?
I don't know. So now they decide, okay, they take him to court, they convict him again, and now instead of being in Broadmoor, they're going to put him in prison.
So this was kind of another way of him turning himself in, I guess. He just murdered someone in plain sight.
Well, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing is, the whole time he's saying that he's trying to get help.
Yeah.
And he thought by killing another pedophile, because he actually did think, hey, I'm kind of doing a service.
I'm not gonna say he's wrong.
I mean, yeah, but you can't just...
Sure, we are not the justice system, and that's...
Right, you can't just do that. But he
But,
did say, I'm kind of, doing you guys a service. Or
Yeah, doing him a big
whatever.
service.
But really what he wanted, according to him, is he just wanted help. He knew
I
he
feel
was
bad
sick.
for him. I feel really bad for this guy.
He knew he was sick and he wanted help, and no one was helping him. They were just, locking him up and whatever.
Right.
So him and this Cheeseman, they go to court and they get convicted of murder, and now they send him to prison. And they go to this Wakefield prison, and this prison is known as the Monster Mansion.
Brunson's there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Bronson is
Yeah.
there. So this
Okay,
is like a
crazy.
horrible prison. They just lock him up. They don't do shit. They're not going to help him at all at this prison.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing.
So he's just kind of like accepting his fate at this point, and then it seems like...
Right. So, he's just, he's devastated. Like, the guy really did think that someone was going to help him, and no one was going
It's
to help
really
him.
sad.
You want to get about 4 or 5 tablespoons. Yeah, I'm going to need, I'm going
More?
to open that other can. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Just regular tomato paste.
Yeah, just regular tomato paste. You want to get about 4 or 5 tablespoons.
Again.
Oh God.
This can opener.
Knock it off with the can.
I will not. This thing's awesome. It's
It is.
never fucking broken.
It is a good can opener.
As it slips off. That was my fault.
Ha!
But
So
I know how to use a can opener. Kind of.
yours is terrible.
Oh my god. I know, mine's awful.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
What What'd you do,
I'm
break
so
it?
used to shitty can openers that I can't even use a good one. There we go. All right. Okay.
Okay,
Let's
you've
pretend
been
I didn't
around 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ, man.
So now he's in this Wakefield.
How'd you get that scar on your face, Brittany? Well, there was a can
You know
and a
my
lid.
mom? Here. So
Okay.
he's in Wakefield. Now it's 1978.
Mm-hmm.
And he decides, okay, maybe I can maybe I'll get help. I'm just gonna murder somebody else.
All right.
So, I know.
All right.
So he comes up with this
It's
plan.
worked so well so far.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
So
Why not do it again?
yeah. So
Well, was it another pedo?
oh yeah, no, it was gonna be pedophiles, but you're gonna love how
Okay.
his whole thing.
Okay.
So
I already kind of love this whole thing. It's great.
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to
What?
chop up some rosemary,
Okay.
fresh out of my garden.
Ooh. Wait.
Okay.
You did.
I know. Just rub your fingers on it
Yeah.
and sniff them. It smells so good.
Rosemary's awesome.
Rosemary and thyme, and I don't know. I would use a couple of tablespoons. Thyme's always hard to get the leaves off. Those dogs are dying to get in here.
I know. Firecracker's been jumping on the door.
Anybody want a really nice pit bull?
She is really nice.
I do rescue when I'm not cooking. I have a great pit bull here. Okay, so he decides he gets like a piece of silverware from the kitchen somehow, and he gets it back to his room, and he sharpens it. You know,
This guy's really good with
the
silverware.
old shank. Yeah,
The old shit.
old spoons in his shanks. So he decides that he's gonna lure people into these pedophiles when they like walk by his room, his prison cell. He's gonna lure them in and he's gonna kill them. So he's sitting
How do you
around.
lure someone into a
I know.
prison cell?
So,
Hey, you know what I got in here? Same thing you have in yours. What's up?
Right. So he's in his room. Well, no one will go into his room.
Well, no shit.
I know. So he's like, friends
They're
with
like, hey,
friends.
I'm a pedophile. I'm
Yeah.
not going into your room.
And there was a couple of pedophiles. I mean, he was targeting. There was a couple of pedophiles, and those are the guys he was targeting, but he couldn't get them in to his room.
Okay.
So now he's just kind of pissed off about it. So this poor guy,
He's all mad.
he's all,
Why would you come in here? I just want to kill you. God, you're such an asshole. Just come
So-
in here.
there's this guy, Stanley Garwood.
Uh-huh.
And Stanley, I mean, he's not a good guy either. He was convicted of, he killed his wife, but he was not a pedophile.
Okay, but
He was a wife
he's
beater.
just
He's
a woman
a
murderer.
woman murderer. So,
No biggie.
Yeah, so he decides, because he walks by, and so he's like, hey, Stanley, come in here.
Next
Okay,
best thing.
this
All right.
is chicken broth, and you're just going to put in about, maybe like half a cup of chicken broth, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to let this cook down, and you're going to start adding your vegetables. So, Stanley
You hear all that
goes...
scratching? It's the dogs.
Yeah, I know. So
Actually,
Stanley
my
goes
dogs.
into Modsley's cell, and immediately Modsley's on him,
Yeah.
kills him. He like stabs him a bunch of times, almost cuts his head off,
Dude.
and then he crushes his head against the wall, like I mean, he's in a total rage.
Shit.
So when he gets done,
That's
of course,
interesting though, because it was all premeditated.
it was all premeditated.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna add my vegetables now. Now I like to I like to chop up fresh carrots and steam them. So that's what I did. But you can use canned or frozen if you want.
In your Le Creuset.
In my Le Creuset that you got me.
Yeah.
Will you hand me the peas?
Sure.
And open up the corn. And so he's in his cell right now. These are frozen peas.
Yep.
And you're just gonna add your frozen peas in here. And I like to add, and I didn't get any, which is why I'm not adding them.
And here's your corn.
Okay. It's not really an ingredient for shepherd's pie, but I like to put mushrooms in. And I just didn't.
Mushrooms make everything better.
Oh, they do. You can omit if you don't like, you can add if you do. And then corn. Now, the only reason I'm using canned corn is because it's November and corn's not in season.
Trash bowl.
If corn was in season, I would be definitely using fresh. Because the fresher your ingredients, the better your stuff is going to be. Okay, so you're just going to let this cook and let the liquid kind of evaporate a little bit. And then we'll start on our potatoes.
Alright, so.
Okay, so now we're going to take all the potatoes, remember, and do that thing.
Oh, so we're going to.
So let's do that now, and then. So
Okay.
cut. Sorry.
Oh, clap it.
Now the guy's dead in his room, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's just a prison cell. Like, what's he gonna do with the body?
Yeah.
You know? So he just very nonchalantly puts the body under his bed. Because that's, where else is he gonna hide it? So he puts Stanley under his bed, and he's trying to lure somebody else into his room. No one will come in. So now he decides, okay, screw it. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm going to start grabbing
Okay, so we're going to start the potatoes.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
We already emptied the water out
Yes.
and stuff, so.
Now I got this bulb of garlic out of the oven. And as you can see, oh God.
It looks really good.
You could just eat it like this.
I know.
It would be fantastic. So these cloves are going to be really hot and really soft. So you want to try, you can squeeze them out if you want, or you can pick them out. Like a fork would probably be good.
You want me to pull out a fork?
Yeah.
Okay. You can keep burning your fingers if you want, but.
I mean, I'm not
Ooh, how about this
totally
one?
burning my fork. Oh yeah, this
There you
one's a
go.
good one. Okay, so you're going to add in your roasted garlic.
Wash my hands again.
And this might have gotten a little over roasted, but oh God. Who cares? It's roasted garlic, people.
Yeah, it's the shit.
Yeah, it is. This is how I like to make my garlic mashed potatoes. And if you don't like garlic, you don't have to put that in. If you don't like garlic, you are not my friend.
If you don't like garlic, you can't sit with us.
You are a weirdo, and
I apologize. I just said that.
Yeah, me too.
People. You can't sit with us.
Anybody can sit with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We don't care.
I also want to show you another quick trick that I like to do. We're not going to do it here just because it takes a little bit longer time than, but I have a potato ricer, and get your giant boobs out.
Fuck off.
Hand me the potato spoon. So you just take your potatoes and you put these, you load them in the, oh, there we go. Load them in the ricer, right? And then you squeeze this down, and it's just, see your potatoes? They just come out, and they're so smooth. But it's a lot easier to do it this way, but for time's sake, we'll go ahead and Brittany's just going to mash it all together.
Yes.
And you could throw the garlic cloves in here as well.
You just left the spoon in there.
Sorry. But yeah,
I love it clean. I wash my hands.
You can also use a food mill, but I got this at Kohl's. I mean, it's a nice little ricer. Okay, so
yeah,
he decides, screw it, no one's gonna come into my room. So
my murder dungeon.
So I'm just gonna go out and go looking for people to murder at this point. So he's walking around, and again, he's trying to find, pedophiles.
Yeah.
But he really can't find any. So he winds up, he's walking past this guy's room, this poor guy, Bill Roberts, right? Poor Bill is just in taking a nap.
What did Bill do? Do we know?
I don't know what Bill did. But it wasn't...
do we feel sorry for Bill?
I don't know. I mean, he's in prison.
All right.
So, okay, I'm going to put some butter in here while you're doing
Give me the butter.
Give me the butter.
Yes.
Like butter. Okay, so I'd probably put in...
Ladies.
Three quarters of a stick of butter.
Okay.
And...
How about some of that sour cream?
Yep. Probably about a quarter of a cup.
Okay, and don't you need to put that Worcestershire sauce in
sour cream. Yeah, I'm going to put that in next. Okay,
right.
so you're going to mix that up. And then, of course, salt.
Ooh.
Right? And a little bit of pepper.
A little bit?
Well, I'm giving this, when we're done making this, I'm going to give it to Nana and Papa.
Oh, that's true. They don't like spicy.
Nana doesn't like pepper.
That's okay. I love you, Nana and Papa.
Yes. So mash away, mash away, mash away all.
Okay.
So, and the milk.
Yes.
Sorry. Milk.
If you like to put milk in yours. I don't put milk.
I like to use,
I do not mess with milk.
I like to use oat milk. Okay, so probably third
Now,
to
when
a
you're
half
making
a
mashed
cup.
potatoes, do you want room temperature milk? Do you want straight? Is it okay to have it straight out of the fridge?
You can have it straight out of the fridge. It doesn't matter. Guys, knock it off out there. Sorry, dogs.
My pickles are trying very eagerly to get in the house. What?
Mash it, man.
Can you just leave me alone?
No, I can't.
Let me do this how I want.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, poor Bill Roberts, he's in there sleeping. So, Mosley goes in there and just hacks him to death. I mean, hacks his skull open.
Bro, with the skull.
Splits it on the wall. Like, he's just... And I don't know if he's more pissed off that he couldn't find pedophiles to kill or, whatever. But, again, he's thinking, okay, they'll surely help me now.
Right.
So, when he's done, he goes over to the guard shack or whatever it's called, and he tells the guards, "Oh, there will be 2 less for dinner tonight."
It's kind of awesome.
So they,
it's
they find the dead bodies. Oh my God, it's like this whole thing. So again, he goes to court, and again,
I'm sure those judges are like, "Come on!"
I know, and again, he's convicted of the 2 murders. So they send him back to Wakefield, which is where he didn't want to go. But then Wakefield is like, we don't want him here. He's like dangerous. We don't have anywhere to put him.
Well, yeah.
He can't be in general population or whatever.
One more salt, I think.
A little more salt? Okay. He can't be in, general population. He's dangerous to the prisoners, let alone,
wow,
guards or anything else. So they send him to Parkhurst. And while he's at Parkhurst, and this was like on the Isle of Wight, wherever that is. Right with a W. W-R-I. So he winds up meeting a doctor, this Dr. Bob Johnson. And he starts working with Mosley. And like, he talks to him, and basically he told him, he said, I'll stay and talk to you and try and help you, but if you scare me, I'm leaving and I won't come back.
Mm-hmm. Did you good?
Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to finish this off. Sorry. I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Right here.
No one knows how to say that word. So, shut up.
It's pretty good, though. It's got really good flavor.
Yeah, I love it.
I like to cook like mushrooms.
Yeah, because it gives it like a meat flavor almost. If you cook with it, it's really great for
mix it in with mushrooms,
like vegetarian and vegan dishes.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
it's great. Okay, so that's all mixed in. That's a nice consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we'll pour this in our pan. Okay, so there's your meat base. So here's our pan. Oh, this pan doesn't get used much. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna put all this in.
It smells really good.
Yeah, it does. You can smell that rosemary and stuff. Oh, fresh rosemary
Yeah.
is so good. Okay, so just gonna pat this down. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Alright.
Now, what I like to do.
We can trade sides if you want.
You want to trade sides?
Yeah.
Okay. I like to pipe my potatoes.
Ooh, she fancy.
You don't have to. You can just throw them on there and spread them around, but.
But you're fancy.
Shut up. Okay, so
Where's your pipe thingy?
right there. So he's in this prison. This Dr. Johnson has been talking to him. I mean, he's helping him. I mean, you know, how much are you going to help the guy? He's got like 50, life sentences he's got to serve.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's helping him feel better about himself, because he's so angry.
Well, that's all that he's wanted this whole time is
Right.
for somebody to help him.
Right. And the thing is, like, his dad would lock him up, and now they're locking him up. And in his mind, he thinks that
He's back in that closet.
but also he thinks he's been doing a service. And so he doesn't understand, why are you locking me up, man? I've killed all these guys for you. Like, you should be throwing me a parade, not throwing me in jail. So
it seems like he really kind of only understands violence in a way, right?
Yeah, and I mean, shit, if that's all you know.
Yeah.
So he is working with this guy, and things are getting better. He's actually like smiling, and he's not having bad thoughts and this and that. And all of a sudden, the Wakefield prison shows back up, and they just jerk him out of the prison. This Parkhurst that he was at, take him out of there, take him back to Wakefield, and now they've made okay, so I'm gonna pipe and pipe. See how pretty this is? And they don't have to be even. So you just do that all up and down with your potatoes, and it makes it look so nice. So they take him back to Wakefield, and when they get him there, they take him down in the basement, and in the basement, they built this damn plexiglass box. It's 14 foot by 18. Yeah. It's 14 foot by 18 foot. It has well, I guess it's not plexiglass because they say it's got a window in it. They say that it's got like this bulletproof window, but he doesn't see anything outside of this window but the wall of the basement. And all that's inside this, all that's inside the cell that they've built is a table and a chair, and that's made out of cardboard. And then there's a cement slab, and that's his bed. And there's a slit like in the door. Now I like to fill in the holes because you don't want
to waste.
You
any of
don't
that
want
potato.
a little bit with no mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So
No mashed potatoes is a whole lot of bullshit.
Exactly. And especially garlic mashed potatoes. So they there's a slit like underneath the door where the guards put his food and his cigarettes. None of the guards talk to him. They'll give him his food, but they won't talk to him. He spends 23 hours a day.
Does the warden tell them not to talk to him, or do these?
I don't know. He just says that they don't talk to him. They won't let Dr. Johnson. Okay, so all my holes are filled. And we can eat the rest of these potatoes for later. And so this is the finished product. You're going to put this in like a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. You just want the tops of these potatoes to get nice and brown, and they'll get kind of crusty. They'll look really nice, but everything's already cooked and hot, so it's not like you're having to cook it. You just want those potatoes to get nice and brown.
Okay.
And you could put cheese on it if you wanted, or you could even mix Parmesan cheese into your mashed potatoes.
Ooh,
would be good too.
Why didn't we do
Yeah.
that?
Well, but yeah, this is really an easy meal to put together on a weeknight for a dinner, and make a lot of it because everybody's going to want to eat it.
Freezes beautifully.
Yeah, it freezes beautifully. So just stick that in the oven.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry. So they've got him in this, cell. They let him out 1 hour a day, and when they let him out, he has 6 guards that go with him. I mean, it's like, he's not...
What?
Yeah, and for a long time...
He's by himself. He's not going to hurt
I know.
anybody by himself.
And for a long time, he wouldn't, like the barber wouldn't cut his hair or anything. So I guess he had like crazy long fingernails and toenails, and his beard was like, his beard was way down like ZZ Top style, and his hair was all crazy, and they called him the Wolf Man, and so he started calling himself Wolfie, and he's basically losing his mind. Like, they won't let that doctor go in and talk to him anymore.
That's not fair.
Which is stupid because, I mean, it was helping him, and what does it hurt? But, he's like, I don't talk to anybody. No one talks to me. He gets 3 visitors.
Wasn't Manson allowed visitors?
Probably.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I know. So, he has 2 brothers and a nephew that go visit him. And he writes letters to him or whatever. And they say that he's got a super high IQ. And he loves like fine arts and music and stuff like that. He's really into that.
So he is kind of like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, well, and they
The
even
character.
say because the case that they built, the cell that they built for him, they built in I think it was 83. So that's before
Yeah. Before
Silence
any
of the
those
Lambs.
movies.
So they always say that Silence of the Lambs probably took that, from him.
Wow.
But his one statement is, I think if I would have killed my parents, I probably wouldn't have killed anybody else because I wouldn't have had. And I don't know that that's true because I don't think him killing his parents doesn't erase what they did to him.
Well, no,
So I think
but
he would always have that anger. It wouldn't matter.
right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But that's what he says. So,
But in his mind, that's
yeah. So it's kind of sad. But
Yeah,
that
it's really sad.
is the story of Robert Maudsley. The boy in the box, or Hannibal the Cannibal, or Spoons.
I like spoons.
The most dangerous prisoner.
Beneficial murder.
Yeah, prisoner in the United Kingdom. And he's still alive. Like, I mean, you know, he's your dad's age.
Shit.
Yeah, but they say he's really, like, he looks way, way older.
Well, at this point, let him out, man. He's old.
No, they're not going to let him out. He's not that. Your dad's not.
Sorry, Dad. Decrepit.
So,
Sorry, Dad.
I know.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy story.
That's sad, man.
I know.
I do feel really bad for him.
Well, you could write him a letter.
I might. Modsley, I'm writing you a letter.
We should all write Mosley a letter.
It's a whole nother can of worms.
Yes. That's all we need.
Yeah.
So anyway, why don't we try this shepherd's pie?
I'm gonna grab a thingy,
where
pull it
am I?
out, but we need a plate.
Oh, I got this. Okay.
Dun, dun. Careful.
I got it. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Perfect.
Gorgeous.
Right? Okay. Let's get a plate. Cut.
Albert. Albert.
Okay. I'm just gonna use
We should make that part of the show that we just talked to Albert. Albert.
I know.
We're sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna cut this. Sometimes it doesn't come out as good as it should. You wanna? There, you got it.
Yep.
You know what? Let me use.
It is hot.
Yes, it's hot.
It is
Yeah, it's hot.
Oh, my thumb. R.I.P. my thumb.
Oops. This is kind of big too.
That's all right.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Woo! There you go.
Ooh.
Okay.
That looks very good.
Thank you.
I'm super excited for this.
Ready?
Yeah.
I wonder if Robert Maudsley gets shepherd's pie.
I hope he gets shepherd's pie.
Oh yeah. Isn't that to die for?
Fucking A.
I'm sorry, dude.
Motherfucker.